Hello and welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. A little red arrow disclaimer before we start the show. If you're a blue-haired lunatic who uses words like microaggression or you might need a safe space later, you should probably turn the channel immediately and hide under your couch for the next 30 minutes. Although we do encourage you to stay and learn as much as you possibly can about reality.
Little 10-point action.
If y'all didn't catch last week's show, we are still out here in Wyoming trying to hunt down this big 10-point. He keeps giving us the slip.
Dang, he's pretty.
We did manage to put the mega meat through a doe last week with amazing results.
The mega meat has checked in.
So we're pretty pumped up about that. Got the momentum going, and my buddy Tyler Jordan last week on the show killed himself a nice buck.
Heck yeah, man.
We got all kinds of action in the show this week. We got big bucks, does, national landmarks, hay rides, blood trails, catfish.
Hey, catfish. Get away from my deer.
Partial male nudity.
There you go.
We got it all.
Well, I'm mean as gravel, I'm poor as dirt. And I like things better the way they were. Well, I'm strong in the head, but I get things done. I spend too much money to have a little fun. Come on. I ain't changing, I'm a stubborn man. So can you love me like I am? Can you love me, baby, like I am? Yeah.
Well, so far our plans up high hadn't worked, closer to the bedding area. So we were gonna move down and get right on the food source, find us a good trail. We don't really know where this buck is ending up accessing that food, but we do know that's where he's heading. Now, we got down there on the field and found us a really good trail, good wind, everything was right, and we found, I think, a pine tree that was there for the original filming of Ponderosa back in the day. This was a big old pine tree, and we were gonna have to do some lumberjacking to get that summit tree stand up in there.
We just got settled into the tree stand a little bit ago, but we made us a little nest in here. Got an alfalfa field, and from the ridge top, way up yonder, our buck seems to be bedding in those pines over there. But every night he makes his way and ends up in this field. But we know all the deer like to be in this field, and we know a large number of deer came up this trail right here. The day 2 bandits, hanging and banging. Let's get it.
This was a good stand. This was the first night that we were actually in range of a bunch of different deer. I'm gonna tell you what too, I wanted to shoot this doe so bad. Y'all don't even know how bad I wanted to shoot this doe. It was quartering away, just pocket of her armpit open, just. In the interest of making cool television for y'all, I let her slide. Some of y'all are like, that would have been some cool television, man. Why didn't you just shoot her? I was trying to kill this buck, that's why. If I pick my bow up, then it's all over with. I gotta leave it on the hanger in those situations. While I was sitting in the tree stand showing unprecedented restraint, not shooting this doe, waiting on this 10-point, my man Waddy was all up in the action.
That sucker went in that bush and just laid down. I don't know from that angle. If you can see him, I can just see the tips of his antlers sticking out. If he gets up, he's got to come left or right, give us a, anywhere from 40 to 50 yard shot. All right, he's getting up. He's gonna walk out to the right. Got him.
That looked like it wasn't almost gonna come together, but he smoked that deer.
How about that? Dude, he's beautiful. Beautiful buck. Ah, what a buck. Exactly what we thought though. Check this out. That's the exit. Look at that big old hole. Wyoming whitetail, man, a big old beautiful 10-pointer. Nice Popin' young buck. And man, I'm pumped.
I use SKB because unfortunately, I'm not the only one that handles my gear. Like the baggage handler that might have done one bong rip too many on his lunch break.
Sorry, bro.
Or when your wife drives anything without a backup.
Watch my bouquet.
Love your face. Bye.
SKB, the world's best cases. I'm a believer that if you know a good buck is in an area, hunt the same spot if the wind is right, and eventually he will mess up. Hunt a spot that you know that deer has been in the past few days, and eventually he's gonna make his rounds back through there and you're gonna kill him. You gotta ride the hole in that case. But sometimes it's just good to throw a wild card and start bouncing around everywhere and hope you get lucky. Cover a bunch of ground, see a bunch of different territory. You can really screw yourself over doing this, but at this point, that buck had given us a slip and it was time to start bouncing around.
Come on over here and we can get a look at him. Pretty deer though. He looks a lot like a $1 shot. The thing about it is if you go hang a stand down there and then they'll get behind you and come up right by this tree the next day. 180 yards. That's a little more than I got in the bag. We just need to get a consistent wind. We could probably kill a deer. Actually, the wind wasn't too terrible. It could have been workable if they'd have come up this draw, either this draw or this top right here. But they came up from the other field and they circled around behind us and got in our wind. Which is no tragedy. Like I said, there's no shooter in the bunch, but that doesn't mean that the shooter that we didn't see didn't get behind us too, you know. We still might get lucky. We still got some time to hunt, but this wind out here in Wyoming's killing us right now.
One tried and true spot out there, especially during a drought, is down on the river by Devil's Tower. My man Martin, on this hunt right here, tags out, so he opened up a spot for us.
Hey, big and coming back from out there. Oh my Lord. Gonna like that. Oh, drilled it. I saw that hole open up and said, now that was what's supposed to happen. We done gave one a nap. Huh?
Right there.
Where? No. It happened.
All right.
Look at there. Hey, that meatloaf was worth it, son. I thank you. I thank you, pal. You're a worthy adversary, you know it? You rascal. That is one fine way to cap off my favorite place in the United States of America. Sundance, Wyoming. 7J.
Thank you, Martin, for killing that deer so we could have us a spot to hunt.
Rip Gamble's here for limited range hanging system. You simply take your nail hanging system, place it on the wall, grab your deer. Is that thing sturdy? Shoot, yeah, it's sturdy. Man, I think I'm gonna just stick with full range.
This is a classic river bottom western hunt. You've got a little bit of cover and a whole lot of field. So you might be able to see deer out there, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're gonna walk right by you. Now, we do have an ace in the hole because between the thicket where they like to bed down and the sweet, sweet alfalfa, we've got one gate. That's what the professional deer hunters on television call a pinch point.
All right, well, it's about 12:40. It's the middle of the day. We're sitting at the base of Devil's Tower. We're here at the gate stand. I mean, that's all I know it as. It's kind of an all or nothing stand because you can't shoot this way. You can shoot one little pocket there, and you can shoot the gate and a little bit right here. So the premise behind it is the deer bed over here, they go to feed over here. This is the most convenient place for them to get to the food in the evening. I don't know, it's gonna be a long day because we're out here it's noontime, and you get up every morning about 3 o'clock and usually count on your midday nap. But we're not gonna get much of a midday nap today. We're gonna sit tight and see what happens.
If you quit, that's what you get, 'cause you couldn't take the pain. I ain't never had it easy, that's just the way it is. But if circumstance opened up the chance, I'd do it all again. Hey, I'm lucky as a 7, I dance to my own tune. It ain't as easy as it.
I was fired up to be down by Devil's Tower. I mean, between the alien mojo that they got going on down there, we were liable to get abducted and taken to another planet, or we might kill a nice buck. We might get to be part of a tour on a hayride. What?
Here comes the sunset hayride. You know what that is?
Yeah. These people just must have thought I was part of the tour. That farmer driving that tractor was like, if you'll look to your left, you will see a hillbilly in his natural habitat. You can look at that glorious mullet, folks. He is just up in that tree loving life.
Because she's like, none of them saw us. That's a great Realtree commercial right there, because none of them, they were looking in the tree, and until I went like, they didn't even know we were in the world. That one girl was like, she looked like a doe looking at you. You know, when a doe smells you, she's like.
And they said, look, you might see 1 or 2 hayrides come right under your tree stand. Don't let it bother you. The deer are used to it at this point. You know, after that second hayride came through, we'd had a fun week and everything, but morale was pretty low. I'm thinking that was our last chance. The sun's going down. We don't have any prospects in range, and it looks like we're going to go home and eat a tag salad on this deal. Just as we were starting to lose hope, we saw antlers. Now this deer is working over to, if I'm facing the gate, he's working to my left, which I only have a window about that big to shoot through. It's not the best scenario. And if he gets too far, I won't get a shot at him at all. So I come to full draw and I'm trying to make it happen. I can't get the deer to stop, but now he's heading back toward the gate. So I'm at full draw, and I've got to get spun all the way around to shoot this deer at 18 yards right at this gate. Just wait. All right, I'm on him. Smoke City, baby.
There he goes, baby.
When you've shot hundreds and hundreds of critters with a bow, you can tell right away by their reaction if something is not right. And I could tell right away that this deer didn't completely react like a double lung or even a heart shot. He walked out, blood pouring out of his mouth, walked out to about 100 yards, and he bedded down. It's good to give him time, so we just decided to back out and head back to camp.
Superior accuracy, unmatched reliability. Red Arrow weapons may be the greatest.
Whoa. Take it easy on the oversell. We get it. They're awesome.
Sorry, I got excited. Order yours now at redarrowweapons.com.
Archery is all about angles, and when you're talking about shooting a deer, I said it on the doe, I've said it 1,000 times, you want exit wound to be of utmost importance. So where the arrow goes in is important, but not as important as where it comes out. This deer was pretty broadside, but he had his right front leg a little bit back. So when you're talking about putting the pin right behind the shoulder, in this case, putting the pin right behind the shoulder means you're putting it about that far behind the actual place that you want to hit. So you go from a double lung, potentially top of the heart shot, to a single lung liver type shot, which is still a vital shot and will kill a deer depending on the hit in a matter of minutes or a matter of hours. You know, a lot of hunting shows will just show the arrow hit them, especially when it looks that good, and then they show the deer and that's it. But I like the whole process, and I think you can learn something from every single deer you shoot.
I mean, he bedded over here, and like what we were saying a second ago, there's the river and his bed's over here. So I'm just gonna check the road. I don't see any blood. I looked on the road, but go through this gate. We'll go through this gate right here and just look in the river real quick.
I saw where the blood trail was heading, and I had a feeling this deer was heading toward the river.
Hey boys, Lucas, come here, man.
You serious?
I mean, unless another 9-pointer did a swan dive and committed suicide, I think I got him. Look right there. He went back to the bedroom, didn't quite make it. Thank you, brother.
That's
Appreciate
awesome.
it, man. Yeah.
Congrats.
Yes, sir. He died right there. Look, that exit's not even that far back. This shit was just a little low, but look at the catfish.
This catfish was just hanging out. I guess the scent of blood or something attracted him. Maybe you could take some leftover parts from a deer and use it as catfish bait. That might be a little pro tip for you guys out there.
I'll get him, Kip.
Huh?
I'll get him.
You already naked?
So now it comes down to who's gonna get this deer out. So it was my kill. I'm going in to get this deer. But my man Zach, I don't know if he's got a background in stripping. He used to strip back in the day to help him get through college or something, but my man was half naked before I got one shoe untied. He's in that water and got my deer for me. That's a good hunting guide right there.
Come here and look at this, Lucas. He was quartering away, and then I grunted at him and he turned to me. That's when you gotta count on your equipment. Look at that, man. We lost sight of him behind a cottonwood tree after he walked, and then he bedded, and it looked like he bedded or fell over, but we couldn't tell because we lost sight of him. But went back, reviewed the footage. Turns out everybody in camp immediately was like, go get him now. You know, what are you waiting on? But cool buck, man. Thank you, brother.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. That was a fun hunt. We hunted at 10. He just wouldn't.
Yeah, it wouldn't play.
He just wouldn't cooperate. I ain't gonna turn my nose up at this one either. This joker was pretty. He came in behind us. I couldn't get a shot, 30 yards. Wide, got good brows. Those brows really are what got him in trouble. I saw he was pretty wide, and I was like, he got good brows too.
Yeah.
And he's a deer species, so I don't care what he is. I don't care if he's transgender and had antlers growing out of his shoulders. Dolan Jenner or whatever, you know. I don't care.
Man, we had a heck of a week with all the guys from Realtree and everybody, Jeff and Deb, everybody at 7J. It was just an absolute blast. And to kill a good 10-point down on the river under Devil's Tower on the last day, last little bit of light, just a dream come true, man, for the third time. I'm telling you what, we have a ball out at 7J, and we're going to be back there real soon. As always, boys and girls, don't forget to stop by the online store on the way out, get some swag of the Red Arrow variety to let everybody know that you're a hunter, you're an American. Till we see each other again, drive fast, take chances, and remember, America, it's not waterboarding if you use diesel fuel.